Welcome everyone, Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about the Dolphin class, the Marine. We're going to talk about his powers, what his synergies are, and we'll also show you gameplay examples of how to use this SeaWorld employee. This class will be all about creating situations where you can utilize your damage boosts and explosives, tactically wiping out your enemies. Timestamps will be in the description if you want to see a specific section of the video. As always, if you enjoy this content, hit that like button, and if you want to see more content like it, hit the subscribe button as well. Let's get started. The Marine's red powers focus on his offensive capabilities and doing as much damage as possible. Like other classes, the Marine will have a specialized weapon that will deal 30% additional damage when unlocked. You can see on my screen I got the M416S. His upgraded silencer's power grants plus 20% damage when a silencer is attached, so you will typically aim to put a silencer on his specialized weapon if it's compatible. His C4 IED is a very strong ability that allows him to throw a C4 explosive that can stick to objects, and then he can manually detonate it to do a large amount of damage to nearby players. This damage will hit players through obstacles such as walls, so you can be kind of cheeky with this ability and pull off some pretty cool plays. It is worth noting that, like all other explosives, this can hurt the Marine and his teammates. If you hide on the other side of a wall and detonate this, you yourself will also be taking damage as well as any teammates that are in the area. So be aware of your proximity and the proximity of your teammates to the C4 and when you explode it. The Marine's green powers provide even more sources of damage while also adding to his stealth component. The Marine's home ground will be water, allowing him to crouch and go prone in shallow water. It will also provide a plus 10% damage boost while in water or in his ultimate ability, which I will explain later. Anti-air fire grants plus 30% damage when firing at an upward angle. As most of you know, it is never preferred to be fighting an enemy who has high ground, especially in this game where there are head glitches where you can get shot at without really being able to see the other player. At least with the Marine class, you will have a damage boost to compensate for this, but I do not recommend you intentionally taking the low ground to get this damage bonus. I do not encourage that. His water ghillie power grants him a wetland ghillie suit, making him harder to spot when in water, and also grants a 50% reduced damage bonus while swimming. Now, if you get caught swimming and an enemy is shooting at you, that's never a desirable situation, even as Marine. Just don't get in that situation. I guess it might save you from snipers, but really, you don't ever want to be in a situation where you are benefiting from this. The game has gone horribly, horribly wrong if you do find yourself here. The Marine's blue powers provide utility to round out the class's water and team play theme. Underwater infiltration removes the movement penalty from running in shallow water and doubles your swimming speed and breath holding duration. Amphibious assault reduces the noise you make when in shallow water and inside of your ultimate, and increases your health and movement speed for a whole minute after exiting shallow water or your ultimate. Camaraderie grants you plus 20% speed to using health recovery consumables and energy bars, plus 20% casting speed and defense when picking up a downed or killed ally, with plus 20 health and plus 20% movement speed granted after you successfully bring them back. Now, water is not always going to be available. In fact, frequently it is not. But the Marine class is still pretty strong despite this, and that is because of the Marine's ultimate ability, Fog of War. Fog of War creates a giant barrier of fog around you, making it difficult for enemies outside to see inside, and partially blinding enemies within. This ability also activates several of your water bonus powers, as previously mentioned. This ability is crucial for providing cover for you and your allies, attacking disoriented enemies within, and getting off revives and picking up downed allies. This ability is so crucial that you really want it active during every big fight you take and every time you revive an ally in the open. Remember, this class does get a bonus to revives. They get a 20% speed bonus and bonuses for successfully pulling it off. This ultimate effectively creates a massive smoke screen, which allows you to pull up your allies during this time. You can get a full resurrection off of a fully killed ally during the duration of this ultimate. It is very good. You should be using it every single time you try to pull off one of those 20-second reses. And with a 90-second cooldown, you'll have multiple opportunities to. But with that said, a minute and a half is quite a bit of time, and you might not always have it. So sometimes waiting to engage in a fight may be the correct strategy, as this really will turn the tides in your favor. So what do I think of this class? All in all, I think the Marine is a pretty strong class who has a large number of damage boosting passive abilities that can be stacked in a lot of situations, and he also has two very strong active abilities as well. One that is incredibly offensive and disruptive, and one that is incredibly defensive and utility and movement and rotation minded. He plays well in solos, but he is even better in squads. He can get your team out of some very dangerous situations, and if you play him optimally and always have your powers activated and available for a fight, he will dish out a significant amount of damage while also being very difficult to take out. I think this class is surprisingly strong if you use him. You can place C4 in places that prevent enemies from pushing and trying to attack you because you can set it off if they go through, such as buildings that have one staircase, you can put it by the stairs. If they try to come up, you blow it up, you get a big damage advantage. It's kind of huge. The ultimate is just so good in squads because it forces enemies to blindly push into your ultimate, take a very risky and unfavorable fight to prevent the res. The water bonuses, you're not really going to be in or around water much in this game. It's pretty uncommon, but if you do happen to be, I think this class is even stronger because he gets those extra bonuses. Really, stealthing through water, it's situational, it's not fantastic, but if you get into that situation, just remember you have it because you can make a huge play on an enemy that doesn't expect it. All right, without further ado, let's show some game clips of how to play the Marine class, especially all of the different ways to utilize his incredibly powerful ultimate, Fog of War. Let's get started. All right, in this clip, you'll see I try to get away with a cheeky C4 play, throw it out through this door, maybe hit an enemy, take one out if I get lucky. I'm getting pushed by two people. I take a significant chunk of damage along with the enemy because, again, it will hit me and my teammates, and it goes through walls, so I still take that damage. Here's another quick example. You can throw it fairly long range, put it on that wall, and now if I blow it up, it would hurt enemies should they be on the other side of that wall. Pretty cool use of C4. In this clip, you'll see I'm trying to get a resurrection off, but a sniper is going to prevent me from doing that. Pretty problematic. Don't worry, I have a solution. Here you'll see I wait for my ultimate to come up, place it over the body. They now lose line of sight, and I can safely go for the resurrection. I will get this resurrection off in its entirety because the duration of Fog of War is longer than it takes to revive an enemy from scratch. As you can see, an ally from scratch. And you see, I get him up, and the storm just went down. Here you'll see I go to push an enemy who I've tagged a couple times, and I'm going to use my ultimate to provide cover. This is going to be amazing because I am going to get pushed by another player who then gets disoriented, and I can take them out during the fog. Here you'll see I'm in the open and I start getting shot at by a person with a positional advantage. I immediately pop my ultimate and get myself out of that situation. I can now heal, reset, get ready to fight, and then re-engage the fight on my terms, under my conditions, where the enemy does not have the favorable position. This is mostly a joke, and I don't really recommend this, but same situation, I pop Fog of War. You can do whatever you want, heal, pop bars. I'm crafting, because why not? I think it's funny. You buy yourself time, you can recover however you need during your ultimate. And finally, just another example we're moving through the open. I use my ultimate to provide cover to my teammates just to make sure they don't get shot. And we now have an opportunity to loot this body of a player that we just killed, get our healing up, make sure we're in a position to take this final fight. All right, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you learned a thing or two about the Marine class and you can play them more effectively, get some more kills, and especially help out those teammates and engage in that good team play. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button as well. See you next time.